welcome back to Face It with Dr. G. I'm Dr. G, and I have the honor and pleasure of having Haley Wood with us today, an incredible nurse practitioner, entrepreneur out of Nashville, Tennessee, actually Franklin, a little south of Nashville. And she is going to share all of her pearls, all of her wisdom, and some new amazing endeavors she's
Yeah,
pursuing. So,
yeah.
welcome.
Thanks for having me. I think we met a long time ago through Tiffany Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
through Galderma. So I'm glad we've
Hmm.
had this connection. Yeah, I've
Yep.
been in this for 19 years and first started out like I think like a lot of nurses, did the trauma ICU, did PACU, did all of that and just I mean it served a purpose. It was great, but it just never was a good fit until there was a job opportunity in Lexington, Kentucky, which is where I'm from, and they needed a nurse practitioner. And so at the time, my son was still in pull-ups. He's a senior in college now, pull-ups, and I picked him up and we moved in with my mom and dad, and I worked in a little bitty med spa in Lexington, Kentucky, and just learned the trade. And at the time, the girls who owned it, it's when like there was a lot of like platforms where you buy like the package of how to start a med spa, and then they had marketing backgrounds. They didn't have any like medical background, which was tough, but I learned a lot of marketing from them. And I did that for about a year, year and a half, and just realized because there was more on the marketing and on the sales side, I could do it. I did fine with the toxins and stuff, but I just needed to learn plastics and learn anatomy. So I went back and moved back to Nashville and worked in plastic surgery for 8 years
Wow.
and learned that. And that was in the recession. So literally, that was before Instagram, that was in the recession. That's when plastic surgery was really kind of taking a nosedive. But the injectables were really amping up. And so worked with a plastic surgeon who is now my medical director. I have a great relationship with him. And we grew that little med spa portion of his practice. And then I left about 8 or 9 years ago and started my own. And so now we have about 11 girls on staff, 4 providers. I still inject 3 to 4 days a week. I just can't get out of it. I just one, you know how hard it is to bring on new providers. But I don't know if I really we talked about this earlier. I don't know if I really want to scale big. I'm really happy with like a tight knit group of women in one location and I don't know. This is what I can like I'm content right now, you know? And there's a
Which
lot
is
behind
really
being
good.
content. Yeah, there's a lot behind being
Really
just
good.
content. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good because it's a blessing and a curse. I've been telling myself a lot recently. Be careful what you wish for, because if you grow a team and you train them maybe all in one central location, and then you're sending them out to all of these other new locations you've expanded to, it shifts the culture a little bit, right? I mean, we're a very tight knit group, but I don't see all of my people every day, and I
Yeah.
miss them.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, and you work hard on culture, and I always say, you know, when the girls come in the office, we leave all of our drama at the door, and we come and we focus on patients. But that's always challenged every day to a certain degree, you know, and so it's really hard to maintain that culture. So when I feel like I've got a good core group, I'm like, I don't know if I want to step out right now. But I think, you know, scaling is good, but it also has its hardships too. And so I just decided I'm right good where I am with one location and 11 girls. We have 11 rooms, so we have a lot more room to grow in this
there you
building,
go.
which I'm fine with, you know. But to
That's
have
a lot of
multiple
rooms.
locations, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, I think it's amazing to be content, because another thing about the growth, personally that I've had is, I want to sit in and enjoy it for a little bit.
Right.
But no, my mind's like, let's go to the next one. It's like, no, Gretchen, like, you're good. Just
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's okay
Yeah.
if life is a little easier to breathe sometimes,
Yeah.
with all of this movement. But
So do you have a
really, really,
vision in mind? Like, when you started this business, did you say I want 5 locations, or what was your vision when you first started this?
I want 20. Uh,
You want 20, okay. Do you want them all like in one area? Do you want them all over the country?
I want them all over the country. And I want to hang on as a privately owned company for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to be challenging, because to get to 20 locations within a certain period of time, I don't want to be 100 years old or dead when this happens,
Yeah.
right? So there's a time crunch, but also to open a new location every year to year and a half financially, it takes time to get them up and going
Yeah.
to bring in revenue. But I do think I have the systems in place that it is very reproducible. I could pop them up wherever.
Yeah.
but it
That's the
doesn't, it
key.
becomes a money
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key is having all the systems in place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the systems are there. I have my designer, I have my builders. It's like I could pop one up tomorrow. But, uh, I asked myself if I had $10 million dollars and I wanted to put up all these locations everywhere, would I like that, quickly? And I'm like, oh God, then you have the teams and the people and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll see. I
Yeah.
just, I think clustering them as long as you can is the best. So having three around Boston, I'm thinking of doing a fourth and then going out of state. So it was kind of between like, do I go out of state now or not? But I don't
You'll
know.
get there. You'll
You
get
get there, but I
Yeah,
want to
your
enjoy it
goals,
more
yeah,
now.
your goals change. I mean, you may have a goal when you first set out, and then you get into it. You're like, what, maybe I need to shift that a little bit. I mean, my 1, 3, and 5 year goals always change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Talk to me about goals. Would you recommend that entrepreneurs and even injectors from either side of it have goals that they work towards? Because I'm just like that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think people like us, like you, we never stop and celebrate when we do actually meet a goal. We're like, okay, on to the next one. But I think you have to. I think that there are some people who don't operate off of goals. They feel like it's like if they don't meet it, then they are going to crumble and it's, they're a failure. I've never felt that. I do try to make them realistic. Like if someone said, okay, we're a $4 million practice next year, I want to be a 10, that's just not attainable for where we are right now. So yeah, I do try to make revenue goals for sure. And then we have monthly of just revenue goals. If you meet it, there's a bonus associated with it. But if you don't, if you get up to 80% of it, we give you 80% of the bonus, which I think that's fair. But if you can't get up to 80%, there's no reward for that. It's like you get it or you don't.
How did you come up with the 80% number?
Well, because, let's just say your goal is 1,000, let's just throw out $1,000 a month, but you get to like 950 or you get to 900, like you did really well. And so I don't want to be all or none. I just felt like if you get up to 80%, you get 80% of the goal money. And so that's really worked. I want to celebrate and reward people for working hard. And I think that's where we pay well, right? You can't pay too much, but pay well. And the bonuses are there if you want one. And if someone says to me, I'm sorry that I feel like my hourly is capped or I'm capped, I'm like, you're never capped in our practice. You've got money to make on products. You've got money to make on bonuses. You've got money, like if you want to stay extra hours, you can stay extra hours. Like that's impossible to ever be capped.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about the return will come if you put the work in.
Yeah.
And it's easier to cultivate your patients that you have than to get new ones. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
cultivate what you have. Um, so in your practice, do you have estheticians or is it all injectors?
We have one full-time esthetician and one part-time. The full-time is really device heavy. She does all of her soft wave, Moxie BBL. She was my second employee, and she started as a medical assistant. And I think that's always great. Like when I'm coaching other nurse practitioners on like who should my first employee be, I'm like, write a just job description for all the things you don't want to do or are keeping you down. Like if charting is keeping you down, if scheduling patients, if the reports, like whatever it is. And so that was my case. Like we can easily see, 10 patients maybe a day without an assistant. But when you get to 10 plus consistently, you really need someone to help you. And for me, I wanted an esthetician. So if I was going to walk out of the room, she could have the skincare conversation.
Yeah.
And that's just morphed into patients knowing her, trusting her. She's very much like me. Like she's we're motivated in the same ways, hard workers. And so we just, she's taken on Softwave and just, killed it. She does Moxie and BBL and kills it. Whatever device she has, she just kills it. And she usually can pay a device off literally within 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
She's so good. She's just a unicorn in this space.
Yeah.
And so she's full time doing that. And then I have another part time who's doing like lash lifts and just some of those little things that they don't bring a big ROI in the practice, but patients want to have them done. We have a really small membership just for skincare. They pay so much per month and they get a facial with a dermaplane. And that's worked for us. I've never been able to figure out memberships for injectables. I was just at a conference this weekend, Aesthetic Alignment with Sarah Berg. And we were talking about like, we can figure it out for the skincare side, but we have had the hardest time trying to figure out for injectables because for the most part, patients are going to pay for the injectables anyway. They're coming to you. So I don't know. That's where we just let the membership off to the skincare side and then we keep the injectables on the other side.
Yeah. We have a membership that It works for the most part. I think what ends up happening is you kind of overcomplicate it. So we
Yeah.
were starting to overcomplicate it, and then I was like, let's just make this really easy.
Yeah.
It's lowest tier, just has a neurotoxin discount. They all have free dermaplaning, but dermaplaning has to be tacked to another service because we didn't want just that continuous cycle, and it's better for the patient. So the second one is discounted neurotoxin and a percent off filler for one area or a
Yeah.
chunk of money. And so just keeping it simple,
I agree.
because you can just get into the weeds. But the skincare one, I don't have. That's a really
Yeah.
nice idea.
Yeah, we have when you walk into our practice, you can go to two different hallways. One has been the skincare side because it's a little bit quieter. So if they're doing a facial or something on that side, they're not hearing all the other things like on the laser device and the beeping and all that stuff. And then we have like a separate checkout for our facial patients, just because they're in there, they're relaxed, they've had this amazing place, and then to go out into the front area where there's all these people, we kind of kept it over to the side. So that's been a really good nuance that we have. I don't think a lot of practices have. So she's 3 days a week, and would we want more? Yes, but I mean, when you look at the business side of things and you look at the return of income or the return of investment on that room and that space, it always makes more sense to have an NP or an RN in there to be injecting or laser.
Yeah.
So I just want it to be a small part of the practice and not the majority.
Yeah. We're in this interesting transition where I have several injectors that are 2 years and above, several more than that, but two, they just finished their 2 years. And they do all the services, including hydrofacials, the RNs, and
Nice.
those that are in NP school. We have two estheticians, and they do them as well. But we're going through this weird transition of they booked their schedules with hydrofacials. There'll be a day where it's literally an RN that just has hydrofacials. And I'm like, oh, and it's great, that's
Yeah.
great, but they should be injecting, that's
Yeah.
what they want to be doing. How can we
Yeah.
change this? And so really encouraging our injectors to bring the hydrofacial up to the patient when they get their tox, the next time, get their tox after it. So we're kind of stacking for the patient. It's better, more time efficient for them, better for our injectors, but, really trying to figure out who does what the best.
Yeah, yeah. We are hiring a nurse practitioner who's going to start on the 18th. And I hadn't really wanted NPs to do microneedling and stuff, but this time I'm going to allow her to, in chemical peels, because I do think that when you have a part-time esthetician, she's not there 5 days a week. So if the NP can, like you said, upsell and cross-sell those types of services that are higher revenue, then that makes sense rather than her just sitting there not having an injection patient.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and to cultivate her clientele too for all the services she can do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's beautiful when, you know, even a patient will come in and just get a spa facial with one of our estheticians and then go get their injection, or they get the hydrofacial with the injector. But I think it's beautiful to have that experience of multiple
Yeah,
providers, and it's just
yeah.
awesome.
Well, when I first started, I mean, I was running laser hair removal. I was doing the facials because we'd have estheticians who would quit. So I had to learn. I'm like, I'm not great at nurturing. Like, it's not my thing. But I can do, like, we had like it wasn't a microdermabrasion. I don't know what, it was like this rough paddle. And this paddle would go all over the face. So I did that, laser hair removal, BBL, all the things in the beginning. I remember going like my first time I cracked open a vial of Botox, I had patients like 2 days later, and it's tough, like.
Yeah.
And I just think about like all the new injectors who are coming in. There's like it's like drinking from a water hose now. There's so much they have to learn. Whereas back then it was just collagen and some toxin, and then wrestling came aboard. So it's a lot right now to learn.
It's
So
a lot, and it's also a lot with social media because I remember we're just coming up on 8 years now, which seems like it should be 20. I mean, but I just put my head down. I didn't look at other people on social media. I got some ideas, but then I was like, I don't want anybody else's
yeah,
information. I want to be myself. But now it's almost not that it's impossible, but it just seems so different. And I don't know. I ask myself a lot. I'm like, would I do this if would I do it again? Would I start now? I don't.
well, I think, when I first started out in plastics, I mean, I had to walk the streets and give out my cards, and you're doing a ton of events, and I mean, all the things, because there was no other way to really get your name out there. Now you can get your name out there, but I agree. Like, I don't follow any of my competition in town. I don't know where they are, honestly, unless I drive past them. I don't know where they are. I don't know what specials they offer. I follow my friends who are in aesthetics, but I literally follow no one around me because I don't. It's not that I don't care. I would help them if they needed anything, but I don't want my practice to look like anybody else's. I want to stay in my lane, do it well, and then I am the person that people are looking for to say, what is Haley doing? You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Right. And exactly, you don't want to get jaded or persuaded by whatever it is. And it's like, oh, I should do that. Looks like I should do it because I need to compete. And I think some people think that way. I know some people think that way. And I'm like, if you're going to copy what I'm doing, the time it takes to do that, I'm already on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I'm like, why are you copying me? You're
Yeah.
hurting yourself. But
Well,
there's a lot
yeah.
of people around here that do that as well. And I
Yeah.
just head down.
And I think too, with a lot of people doing functional medicine, HRT, and all peptides and all the things now, you think, am I missing the boat? Should I be doing that? And
Hmm.
we had a focus group. I was in a masterminds group with a girl who sold Dry Bar. Have you read that book? If you haven't read it, it's really a good book.
No, what book? Can you write this down for me?
It's an Allie Webb. I think Allie Webb sold Dry Bar, and she
Okay.
has a masterminds group. She and two other girls. And the best thing I got out of that group, I mean, I've done lots of masterminds groups. Some are great, some are not great. But this one, the best thing I got was do a focus group. And so we took 10 patients and we brought them in and just said, hey, you guys are our ride or dies. You all know the practice. You've been with us. What are services or what are things that we're missing or what do we do well? And what would you like, would you come to us? I'm a women's health nurse practitioner by trade. I know that. I haven't done it for years, but I can do it.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna write this
they're
down.
like, you know what? We just love the fact that you're really good at injectables. And if we want our hormones, we'll go get it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it was a really good moment for me to understand what my patients wanted out of our practice. They
Hmm.
like us just being strictly injectables and lasers and skincare. And it took the pressure off of me, the IVs and the HRT, all the things that
Oh
everybody's doing. I'm
gosh.
like, our patients don't even want it.
Yeah.
They may want it, but they're going to go to someone else who specializes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had this incredible idea. I was like, I gotta write this down. So you're pretty much describing a patient board of directors.
Yeah.
And you could have it where, and these are your promoters, you have your passives, you have your detractors, but these are the promoters, the massive promoters of your company, and you want to hear from them. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? How can we improve? How was your experience? All that, plus services. And even if you had a rotation of there's a board of directors each month or every quarter or something with your top promoters to do a Google Meet. Did you do it in person or did you do a
In person, I would probably do it like maybe once a year.
once a year? Okay.
You want a group of women who are going to talk. Because a couple of them just wouldn't talk. They were just kind of listening to everybody else. But I had most of them that were like, okay, we've been here, and this is what we like about what you do. We like the parking here. We like that you don't send a ton of emails out. Because I mean, we asked them a ton of questions, and it was really insightful for me. And we learned like because you're not going to get those from patient surveys. Patients are not going to fill those out. If you get a review, that's great, but they're not going to give you like this in-depth like deep dive that you want. And I would do it again for sure.
Did you incentivize them with anything after? Like thank them?
I think we had like some hors d'oeuvres, we had some like, champagne or wine. And I think we gave them, it was like a free hydrofacial or $50 off of a service or something like that. We don't offer any specials rarely. We do this semi-annual gift card sale. So patients just know they're just not going to get a lot of specials. So anything we give,
Yeah.
they're happy about.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. We're the same way. But with the opening of a third location, I feel like it has to be like all these specials all the time. So for a
Yeah.
grand opening party,
Yeah.
whatever. But typically we don't discount anything. But I love that idea. So
hmm
once a year, patient board of directors, and yeah. I
And we
mean,
also have like I did another. Have you ever heard of Strategic Coach?
yeah.
It's an international business coaching program. And early on, I was like, I need some help. Like I had started Aesthetic Masterminds. Don Segrillo and I had started that. And that was, Lovely Laban and Brandis Harrison and Gina Bukerich and Jerry Obi, like Julie Baskap, and all the people Sarah Safa, Michelle Duran, we all got together and we still like actively ask each other questions all the time. It wasn't like the clinical. I needed like the business acumen. So I did strategic coach for about a year or two, and it was really good on a few things. And one of them was always on your top 20 patients. Who are your people who are feeding your practice? And that way, when our top 20s come in, that's how we use our samples. If it's their birthday or just like a thank you, we just love having you here. We have that ready before they come in, and we hand that to them. And I'll tell you something else. Ritz Carlton does a course for medical practices on how to have a
Really?
yeah, Disney and Ritz Carlton. So Ritz Carlton, it's a 3 hour course. It's online, but you can like it teaches your front desk staff like how to have a Ritz Carlton experience. And because that's what sets you apart from every other med spa on the street who has special every month or a $10, like we have Of Me. I'm sure they're great. I don't know anybody over there, but they just discount and they're in all your ads and all your feeds. What can I do to keep my standards high, but for people to feel seen and heard and loved? And
Yeah.
that's how you keep patients.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the Ritz Carlton's a 3 hour. What we learned from that one is you want to have like a signature, and we do like onboarding for new patients, but they have like a signature welcome experience. So we're working on that right now, like for every new patient. What does that experience look like for them?
That's just amazing. And it really is. So it reminds me, we had a communication training team wide this week. And consistency of communication and not saying the same words and being robots, but being aligned with this fundamental core purpose and, understanding our mission, vision, values. But I think it's even better to have the experience part of it. Top 20 patients, who are your 20 promoters, et cetera, et cetera. It changes the game.
Yeah, and if they need to
Makes
come
things less
in,
confusing.
yeah, and everybody knows who they are. Like we know these are our people. They are loyal to us. Excuse me. And I want them to feel loved. And when they're in the practice and they're seeing Amy or somebody, I'll pop in and say, "Hey, like, how's it going? Like, how's your summer been?" And just make sure they know that I see them. It's just making them feel acknowledged.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I do that all the time. I'll just like pop into all my, friends, and maybe they're not top 20, but huge promoter.
Yeah. Yeah. We never had great luck with like influencers. I'm like, screw it.
Oh my
I
gosh, don't
I
even get me
don't like it.
started.
I don't like dealing with it. And then they promote you one month and they're off to somebody else the next month. So it just has never worked for us. I'm like, I just want my good old girls who are my ride or dies, who are loyal, and that's who I want to focus on, not on these people who have probably half fake following.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. They're extremely difficult to work with. They don't communicate. They never deliver exactly what they promise you to deliver. It's always late. I mean, we're dealing with it again, and I'm like, I'm done this time. I'm done.
Yeah. I think there's things like just like we're talking about. There's things like even techniques like I remember when Swift talked about going down on the periosteum right here in the piriform aperture. I came home, I did it 3 times and aspirated blood 3 times. I'm like, screw it, I'm done. I'm not in for this. So I think there's just things that you're going to learn, and you just have to say, do they make sense for you? And if they do, then do them. But HRT doesn't make sense for us. Um, Memberships haven't made sense for us, and that's okay because you are going to learn and adjust over time.
I totally agree. Um, and it's also, what do your patients want? Like exactly what you did. Ask
Yeah.
them. What do they want? What do they feel is left out? But I did struggle. We did bring in functional medicine in a limited sense and HRT, and it's going really well. But when you start a company and you're known for something as the experts in it, then to bring something in,
Yeah.
as functional medicine and claiming you're an expert or everything, it's hard. But we're not experts in functional medicine, and we're not offering the services as if we were experts and that's all we do. There's limited options with us. They work really, really well. NAD, a bunch of vitamin shots, and hormone replacement,
Yeah. Yeah.
and semaglutide, for
Yeah.
um, Ozempic, everything. So, if they want to go to an OBGYN or somebody that has a really hugely well-rounded program, that's not us.
Well, the thing is, they trust us, right? They trust
Right.
us. Like, what are you on? Like, what are you taking? And so I'm like, yeah, I am on a little tirzepatide. And I do a little NAD. And like, well, will you do it here? And I'm like, I don't know yet. Like, I just have to like figure out how it feels for me. And like, and then I always say I'm going to like just learn this for a year, see if I want to bring it on and not feel so like I've got to bring it on right now.
Yeah. Do you use Air Essence?
Yeah, I have been. I actually used one yesterday on a patient. I've used it on myself through here. I actually sent the before and after to Wasim, and I'm like, okay, I
Mm,
don't see a huge difference. He goes, no, he goes, I can see an improvement. He goes, maybe you need another vial like out here laterally. I see differences actually more than 8 weeks out. So we did my before and afters yesterday, and I did a little Daxi too. So I mean, it improved it. But I will say, yeah, it was good. I went to that conference this weekend with Sarah and Erica Oakes was doing. I think Erica's done like 100 vials of it. She had, she definitely said there's a certain type of patient that it does better on. She's doing the microneedling in the hair. We do microneedling in the hair with it. It was a little bit hard to get it added to your malpractice in the beginning, so I was a little bit more on the timid side until I could get it added to malpractice, but we do now.
mhm.
I've probably done about 5 patients, and I'm in that waiting period right now for that 6 to 8 weeks to see. We always use it after ablative. It doesn't work after Moxie, of course, but it works really well after ablative. I think it just helps the skin re-epithelialize after, like we have ultra clear.
Yep, so do
Um,
we. We love
yeah,
it.
love it after that. I just do one vial immediately after. I don't send them home with a second vial. I haven't seen that that really helps any at all.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, we're dabbling into it. I'm kind of one of those that I'll let everybody else do their stuff and then see how it goes and then do a little bit on my own. I always do everything on myself first and then go from there.
Hmm.
But so far, I haven't had any swelling. I haven't had any redness with it. It's only been just the tenderness. That's all we've
That's
had.
awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard because my team, they want to get new treatments. I'm like, we just added a ton, so we just need to focus on those. But they're excited. They see it all over social media because all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. It's just in a lot of people's hands. And I tried it a long time ago. We got some samples of it, and the cost, I don't know if the cost has changed, but it was high for the company when it came out, and
Yeah.
it's still expensive.
It's still 200 a vial.
Yeah, so that's expensive. So, and I was just kind of like, we don't really need this right now. We do PRF, easy gel. We have other ways to
Yeah.
rejuvenate the skin,
We
but
do.
the team
Yeah.
keeps asking me.
I know we do PRF too, and I will say PRF is just hit or miss. I mean, you just don't know if someone's going to. I tell patients, half the patients who do PRF see a great result, and when they see a result, it's about a 25% improvement. That's what I see. I don't see the consistency patient after patient after patient. If I can see consistency patient after patient with Area Essence, then I would use it more often. I still don't think it replaces filler if you need filler like in the deep medial cheek fat pad. You still need that volume. But if it's the texture or the coloring or those dark circles, I think it can have a place for it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. Well, you have to keep me posted on how
Yeah.
it goes. I'll
Yeah.
remember to ask you if we consider it. But again, it's just bringing in too many new services at the same time. I just feel it's really
Mhm.
hard
A
to
lot.
focus on them.
We brought Ultra Clear in last year, and that laser is good.
Yeah,
I
people
like it a lot.
love it.
Yeah.
And do you feel people are comfortable doing it year round, or do you feel it really does slow down in the summer?
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like we're getting patients prep now for consultations, and then we'll start them on like on a skin prep. I'll probably go strong on it October, November, December, January. October probably till March here, and then stop it. I did a 3D miracle yesterday, and I'm fine with that. But these like 5 days inside, and no,
It's like,
no.
I'm not doing it.
I mean, patients love it, and then we've had great results with it. But it's really, I mean, it's 90 degrees down here today. There's no way you could do that and have someone outside today. I mean, you can't be outside anyway, but to have the hot weather, it's not even plausible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Um, okay, so transitioning over to, because we've already been talking for so long, I can't believe it. Let's transition to your new endeavor and tell everyone what you're, as much as you want to, I guess, what you're about to show the world.
Well, I said, and this started like when I first opened my practice. I opened about 6 months and went through a divorce, and it was super, super tough. And from that, I said, I feel like my mission is to help women become financially independent, whether it's an injector who's in my practice or an employee in my practice, or us just out teaching someone a new skill set of how to make money for themselves. I mean, that's always been my thing. But what I've also seen is that there's so many nurses, PAs, NPs who just they want to start their own practice, but I mean, I didn't take one business course in nursing school, not one. I didn't know the difference between net and gross at all. So what I'm doing is starting a mentorship program for coaching nurses on the business side. like how to have a really strong practice. It doesn't have to be huge, but it can be strong and it can be the practice they want, and they can have balance in their lives. And so I've coached about 4 girls all over the country who've had smaller med spas. We look at their revenue, we look at their like where they want to be, hiring, firing, just the language, some of the protocols, things like that. And from that, I realized there's something consistently that all of them have needed. And so we're going to do a 6-month coaching program. I've recorded all the content. We'll have one monthly live call for support. And yeah, just see how it goes. I don't know if we'll have 2 people in it or 10 people in it per cycle. I don't know yet, but um, I really enjoy helping them. I've enjoyed building a business. It's not easy by any means, but I think that if you're going to coach someone, it's just like you're going to teach someone how to inject. You got to do it. You can't be on the sidelines. You got to be like in the trenches every day, building a business in order for you, I feel like, for you to coach someone to do it well.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. That's why I have a hard time with all of these business courses or business whatever. It's people on stage don't have businesses. Or
Uh-uh.
like, I don't
No.
understand this. Um, but I totally agree. And the point of you probably wanting to do this is because maybe you didn't have a mentor, or maybe you did, and you just want to give back and you want to tell people your story and make it easy for them and help them be successful. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say find a faithful hand, someone who can help you. Whether you're in a new injector and you don't know how to inject, find someone who can help you inject. If you are starting your business, find someone who can help you, hold your hand through that because I mean, you don't even know what to pay your front desk staff sometimes. You don't know how
exactly.
to set up bonus structures. You don't know even like what EMR to use or what paychecks to use. Like we have learned so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know it, but we've learned it. And if I can make it easier on someone else, then I would love to do that. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the resources, Do you have a good bookkeeper that already knows aesthetics,
Yes.
CPA, all the things?
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because you also, when you have a team that really works and maybe just works really well together, it's nice to give someone that package. And just to be able to brainstorm. And there's parts of it when I would talk to my mentees, and it would bring me back to the early days. And I was very, I don't know, I was like nostalgic. I was like, I kind of missed that. I really missed that. It
Yeah.
was so simple and beautiful, and I was weirdly naive, a totally different person. Uh,
Well, it's just as easy.
uh,
And it's you hire the wrong people because you hire your friends or you hire your patients, and then that turns into something that's difficult. And then how to hire, how to fire someone, how do you pay them, your bonus structure. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, you have it, especially a lot of these newer NPs who are starting their practice. They may only have like 5 years of experience, so they don't have a ton of experience, and they have no business experience. So it's really, really hard. So that's where I've just kind of found like I really enjoy. I still love seeing patients and injecting patients, but I really love this other side of the business too. So I'm injecting like 3 to 4 days a week, and then I do this like 1 day a week right now, and I like it.
so awesome.
Yeah.
It's all about what you love
Yeah.
to do. I love
Yeah.
it. What do you do for fun when you're not injecting? You're not working on the
Well,
business. Do you have time?
Well, I mean, my son went off to college. He's going into his senior year. So I really do try to like plan time to go down to football games, and I like lead up parent weekend for the fraternity. I
That's
love that
fun.
stuff. Because it's just this is my last year of him being like an organized education, really, and I've loved every moment of it. I'm single, so I've got the ability to have the free time right now,
Yeah.
so I spend my falls with him. I'll go down there, and then I have a lake house, and that was one of the things. Like I just enjoy the lake, so I go down there. I try to go almost every weekend. We're going to go down tomorrow,
Oh, that's so awesome.
and I would like to be a lot better at pickleball. I love it,
Ah,
but I'm not great. I call myself an advanced beginner,
I love that.
so I love that. So
It's so
yeah,
good. That's so awesome. My friends and I were just talking about tennis last night and how we all need to go play. And then there was another game we were talking about, but you've got to get out. You've got to do it. You've got to do
oh
things
yeah,
that are interactive with your friends. And they want me to start golfing lessons. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know about golf. I'm like, I'm such a busybody, and maybe it will very much soothe me. But I'm like, I don't know. But
well,
it's
it's
just so fun.
hard, because your little girl's how old?
I have three. So I have
Right.
11, 11, 9, and 4. So girl, boy, girl.
Yeah. I remember when
Yeah.
I was in high school, I hired a chef, and it was one of the best things I ever did. I don't know if we
Wow.
talked about this when I was with you last,
I don't
but I
think so.
hired a chef, and it made my life 100% easier. And yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to balance it all. And so we close our offices at 4 o'clock every
But
day.
we're 4:30. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that time.
Yeah, and on Fridays we shut down at 2. And I know we could
Wow.
have so much more revenue, but it's like, there has to be some type of balance of life, especially when you've got those little bitty babies, you got another life, like you got to stop at some point, you know?
No, I know. And not that it's easier to continue working when they're younger, but when they're older, and 11 and 9, those are precious ages that they're really interactive. They want your attention. They want to actually be around you. The
Yeah.
4-year-old just creates havoc everywhere she goes, but it's really special time. So I agree. And this is the first summer I've not taken really any time off. Whole other situation, but I try to have my Fridays a little bit lighter. Today is light, tomorrow is mostly free. So just, grabbing those moments and
Yeah. I
um,
always felt like when I was traveling and teaching the most when Will was little, like kindergarten to sixth, seventh grade. But once he hit that eighth grade year, I'm like, that's when mama needs to be home to see the friends that they're around and make sure. So that's when I really that's when my career really pivoted. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be on the roads. I don't want to teach anymore as much as I was and stay home and be present. And it's paid off.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Um, what's the point of building something that, you can, give to your children one day, or they can work for you, or you sell it and you give them part of that? What's the point if there's no relationship there? I think,
Exactly. No, I agree. Yeah.
yeah. So I have them in camps one week, and then they come to the office and work the other week for
Okay.
summer. And at the beginning, it was this whole process and, struggle. And now they just can't wait to come in and
Well, good.
they work and do all these things. I'm like, build your resume. Let's
Yeah.
do this. My life
That's
is
how mama
better.
teaches. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this has been so much fun. It's so
Yeah.
good to
Thanks for
see
having me.
you. Yeah, you look beautiful as
Well,
always.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. And
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. So I think just keep doing it. And I will be cheering you on from the background when you keep from 3 or 4 clinics up to 20. I'll be cheering you on.
Oh boy. Oh, crazy. But where can people find you? Tell everyone your Instagram.
It's Haley Wood _NP, and right now that's all I've got. That's the easiest way to find me. We're working on a website now for the coaching platform, and it'll probably be ready in a couple months. So, but for right now, just DM me on Instagram.
It's so good. It's so exciting. Well,
Thank you.
everyone, yeah, yeah, everybody that's watching, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you again next time.